All right, welcome to another episode of Class Saving Farms. So what are we doing today? Well, need to replace a battery in the 790 John Deere. We got some snow. Went to go push the snow the other day, and as I went to go start her up, she wasn't trying to start. So when I popped the hood on this, I saw the battery had been changed back in 2014. So I didn't buy this brand new. I bought this tractor, just had just over 100 hours when I bought it. So I got a little bit of time out of it. I've had the tractor for about 3 years now. So we'll go ahead and we'll change the battery out, and while we're at it, we'll change the air filters because I got some new ones. So this tractor is John Deere 790. It's a 2008 John Deere 790, four-wheel drive with the 300 loader. That's the quick attach loader. It also has the John Deere quick attach bucket assembly on it. It's a 30 horsepower tractor. It's been a really good tractor for me. So in order to take the battery out, the battery is located right behind the grill here on the front. Now, one thing I will tell you, if you have 790s, these grills can actually fold down to make this job a lot easier so that you don't have to take the air cleaner and all that out. But for me, I want to replace the air cleaner anyway, the filter at least. And I have this brush guard here on the front that on this tractor, on the older, I say older, but 2008 models, 2010s, they were bolted. They don't have like the quick pins that the newer ones have. So in order to get this hood open, you come over here to this side. It's got this black latch that you would just pull out, this lever, and that would release it. And there's no way for me to do it while I'm holding the camera, so I'll get you guys set up and I'll get the hood open. So when you pull this latch, you just want to pull it so that the hood will pop open, and you'll see it'll pop here in a second. Once it pops, you're good to go. You can lift your hood up, and you should have a hood holder there that can hold your hood up so it doesn't smack you down on the head. Or hood prop, sorry. So looking down here in the bottom, you can see where the battery is. The battery's under the air cleaner box. So I'm just going to remove the air cleaner box out of the way and just make it a lot easier to pull that battery out. The top of the battery, you have two terminals, so they're 10 millimeter bolts to take those terminals off. And then, I can try to do this and show you, you have this bar right here. And it has a 12 millimeter nut on this side and a 12 millimeter nut on that side. So just take it loose enough so that you can slide the bar back towards the front of the tractor, and then you can pick that whole battery up. My hope is that when I get a replacement battery, it'll have a handle on it. This one does not have a handle, just because it'll be easier since I'm taking it out through the top of the engine bay here. So next, I'll show you the tools that you're going to need to do this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take the cap off the air cleaner. So to do that, you just have these two little latches. This one on the back side is going to be fun trying to get back on, but it's not too bad taking off. And you do have a little breather valve here on the back. Just be mindful of that. Don't go yanking on it because you'll tear that boot up. So just take that, place that out of your way. Here is the air cleaner that we're going to replace. Now, I'm pretty sure these 790s have a filter on the inside. I'll let you know here in a second if they do. Yep, they sure do. So I definitely have this filter. One thing I'm going to tell you guys, as I've said in some of my previous videos, I like to use all John Deere filters when I can. And I ordered this filter. A lot of times, just so you guys know, you can I order all my filters online from JohnDeereParts.com. And on Black Friday, you can get like 20% off and free shipping to your house. So that's usually when I place my order for all my filters. So I'm going to use the one that I bought this past Black Friday. So I'm going to buy another one and just put it on the shelf because I know I'm going to replace it eventually. But I wasn't sure if this 790, if it had a second filter to it. Sometimes when you order off those online part stores and things like that, it's hard to figure that out. So now that I have this, we're probably going to go to NAPA and pick up a battery because I have one close to me. So I'll probably just get this filter for right now, but at least I'll have this filter so I can cross-reference it next Black Friday. So next Black Friday, I'll be buying these 2 filters brand new. Just something to keep in mind, especially those of you that are like me and like to use your John Deere parts. So the next thing that I want to do, I'm going to leave this in here for right now while I'm taking this out because I don't want any dirt and stuff to get down into that intake pipe. So I have a long 3/8 extension, a deep 12 millimeter, and just a 3/8 ratchet. There's a 12 millimeter bolt here, and I just like using the long extension. All that just gets my hands out of there so I'm not busting my knuckles up on stuff. Just be mindful because this 12 millimeter bolt will probably drop. And some people are like, man, you don't have a speed gun for that? I'm just kind of old school, man. I'm just used to doing it this way. It's just the way I've always done it. So 12 millimeter bolt, so you'll need that. Put that off to the side. Pull this clasp out of the way, and then you can pull the air cleaner up and out of the way. And I just knocked my 10 millimeter and 3/4 ratchet over. All right, so to make this a little easier so that I can pull the battery straight out, 2 12 millimeter nuts that kind of go on the, I guess what you would say, the core support, because it's where the radiator is hooked up to. So I'll just knock those out real quick. And then I can move this bracket out of the way so it's out of my way, so I can pull the battery straight out. All right, next thing I'll do is pick that wrench up that I dropped. So 10 millimeter to take the top terminals off of the battery. I always take my negative off first. And just be careful that you don't touch that metal bar, because even though this battery still has a little bit of juice, it won't start the tractor, but it's still got a little bit of juice to it. So I don't feel like getting shocked today. Then take the positive one off. There we go. Now my terminals are off. So now what you need next is a 12 millimeter ratchet wrench. Just make your life a lot easier. Loosen up these 12 millimeter bolts that are on top of the battery holder. Go. It's loose on that side. Okay. Slide that out. And we have the battery out. So now it's time to go get a new one. So here we go. We got our parts. So we went to local NAPA because, like I said, they're close, and picked up a battery. So for anybody that's curious, there is the part number for this battery from NAPA. And one thing that I always like to do, I like to write the date that I installed it. So today is the 3rd of February, 2021. So I'll go ahead and put it in and write it down so I know it's there. This is the new filter. This is the old filter. And this is the one that goes on the outside. And that's the John Deere part number for this filter for anybody that's looking for it. And then this filter I ended up getting from NAPA. So this is the original filter. This is the NAPA part number. See if I can't zoom it in for you. There you go. So just in case anybody's looking for it, and if I remember, I'll try to put these down in the description. So I'm going to try something here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this air cleaner together, and then when I put that mounting bracket for the air cleaner on, I'll just hook it in all together so I don't have to worry about it, because this one clasp on the back side is going to be hard to get to with the radiator screen there. Another good thing to think about while you're here, if you need to clean out your radiator screen, now's the time to do it. I just cleaned this one out not too long ago, so it looks completely fine to me. But it's just something to think about. Since you're already here, you might as well just take that extra time. So to push this thing in, this just has a rubber encasement around the bottom part of the filter, and you just push it in. It'll fit nice and snug, and until you can't push it in more, it's good to go. There it is. This one just goes over the top of that, and it's the same thing. It's got a rubber base, so you're just pushing it so that it seats in there and it's not moving anymore, so that's good. The other thing, this little cap, it's got an arrow, and on here it has an arrow, so just line your arrows up. As long as the arrows are facing each other, you're good to go. And you can see with this thing being loose, it's a little easier, at least in theory. That's the way it is. Yep, there you go. So now the air cleaner's done, so let me go ahead and drop this battery in. And I didn't luck out. This one does not have a handle like I was hoping it would. If I wanted to pay a little bit more money for the premium, that would have had a handle, but that's all it is a handle. So I'm not paying an extra $20 for a handle or whatever the case may be. It's a tractor. It's not like I'm trying to win car shows with it or anything. I needed to push snow and bring up firewood and dig some dirt. That's what I need it for, and cutting grass or whatever the case may be. All right, so drop your battery down, and then basically, guys, we're just going in a reverse order. So I will go ahead and stop from here, button everything up. I will show you hooking this thing up because I can see where people would have a hard time with that. And I'll be right back with you. All right, so I have this bracket mounted up on the core support. And so we'll just, like I said, in theory, this should work. Although maybe it won't. There we go. All right. So when you go to hook this air cleaner box back up, just try to follow kind of where your dirt line was on the top of your air cleaner box. At least that's what P-Pop would always say. He would always say when you're working on tractors, the dirt will guide you where it was. So he always had a sense of humor on him when you were working on stuff. So, you know, as I told you guys in the past, this channel was is dedicated to my grandparents' dairy farm and kind of their memory. And my grandfather had really bad arthritis through his back. I mean, from what I can remember, he always walked around with two canes, and he called the two canes his hookers. And but I tell you, it never slowed him down. He would always try to figure out a way to be able to still contribute to the family and be on the farm and doing things. And a lot of times he was very knowledgeable. He was a machinist by trade. And so there would be times where, you know, equipment would break down if my uncle was you know, out getting supplies or something like that. Something would need to be fixed. Well, you just needed to fix it. And so P-Pop would kind of talk us through it because he couldn't do a lot of the stuff. Like I said, he got around with two canes. Now, there's even though he only had two canes and that was how he walked around, the man could still get up on a 40-20 John Deere with his two canes, and he would literally take the canes and throw them up on the railings and pull himself up. It was I guess one of those things. As a kid, I just took it for granted because I always saw him do it. But as I'm getting older, I think I appreciate it a little bit more. Definitely miss them. But it's times like this when I'm working on it and I see that dirt line, it just makes me think, you know, the dirt will always lead you to where it should go. So anyway, guys, this thing is all buttoned up. She's tightened up. Make sure you check all your connections. Have both of the positive and the negative terminal hooked up on the top of the battery, and I have the bracket on there. So the next thing we're going to do is see if she starts up. I'll see you guys in a second. All right, so here we go. Moment of truth. I would say that worked. We have a success. All right, so hope you guys enjoyed that. Just a real quick video on replacing the battery and the air filters on the John Deere 790. As always, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. And again, I release new videos every Saturday morning at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So with that being said, I'll see you on the next one.